back in 2008, we still had a central bank, the Federal Reserve, that said we can do TARP, we can do TARF, we can do all of these programs. Well, now the toolbox is empty. Now they don't have anything. We had the rescue packages, the credit guarantees, quantitative easing, zero interest rate policy. Right now, we are almost at zero. We have taken every new program we could. We have yield curve bend. We have bought all of the bad debt and put it on the Federal Reserve. There's nothing left for the Federal Reserve to do. They used to have a clean slate. They don't anymore. We are now down to 0.25% interest rate. And our geez, I can't remember what the name of these things were. What is the credit default swaps? Our credit default swaps are as bad as China's debt now. Where we were on credit default swaps, we just went back into that business, and it's far worse than it was in 2008. I am not saying that today is going to be the big plunge. I'm saying that it sure looks like the world is taking the big plunge. This could be a Black Monday for us. But the good news is the stock market has a long way to fall. It's not going to be just one. It's going to come down, and then it's going to go back up a little bit, and it's going to come down. It's a gaming table. It's just going to keep taking money off of the table. Just keep it coming off of the table. Not good. Not good. May I suggest, I do not think that this is the big lights out event. But I will tell you this. I believe there is something in our collective conscience. I believe there is something that is telling people all around the globe, something bad is coming our way. And I think everybody feels it. So here's what I would suggest you do. I would suggest that you pay attention to what is in your 401k. You make sure that there is some sort of stop on your 401k so you can't just lose everything on your 401k. That if you do have stocks, you call your broker today and make sure that you have some sort of stop at 5% or 10% or whatever else you're ready to risk. I would highly suggest that you have enough cash for a week. This is not the big crash. I just don't believe that. Maybe it is. I don't believe that. I'm always bad on timing. So seeing that I feel like it's not, it probably is. However, there's going to come a time when things just stop working and they shut everything down and they stop a run on the bank and everything else. And I don't think we're there, but I would suggest that you have a week's worth of cash on hand. And the only reason why you should have a week's worth of cash on hand is in case they do at some point close the banks just to be able to stabilize the situation. Because that will happen at some point. I don't think it's happening today, but that will happen at some point. So you should have a week's worth, because what happens is we have seen this happening now recently in other countries where they just limit the amount that you can take out. And so everybody just gets $200, every couple of days you can have $200, but that's it. I would just make sure that you have looked at your food storage and your 72-hour food storage, and, if you've had gold or silver or whatever it is that you feel good about, that you have those things on hand. Have you replenished your ammunition and your guns? How you doing with God? Those are all the doomsday things to do, but if you have any of those unchecked on your list, I would make a point to start doing them today, because we are headed for trouble.